What's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming back to another broadcast over here at the Ellis Network. Now, we are going to discuss something that's a little unorthodox from what we usually talk about on my channel. If you come to my channel, you know, we talk alternative news, political news, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But for the first time in Ellis Network history, I'm going to drop an opinion piece on this whole battle that we have going on with a God and a devil. And the battle that I'm talking about is Eminem versus MGK. And everybody is talking about this. It doesn't matter if you're an old hip-hop fan versus a new hip-hop fan. It doesn't matter if you're a fan or not of hip-hop altogether. You know, just the whole music industry has been rocked by what we are witnessing. Okay, so the whole thing is we all know Eminem, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady. He recently dropped an album out of nowhere. No one knew that M had this secret thing he was working on. No one knew that he was, you know, releasing this album. It just, we all woke up one day and bam, here's something called Kamikaze from Eminem, Marshall Mathers. And it was pretty much a whole diss album. He dissed on a lot of rappers. Right now I'm looking on my Twitter page, guys. I seen somewhere on Facebook where there was a tweet from Eminem telling MGK to wait on. He's getting ready to drop another diss specifically made for MGK later on today. So I went to Twitter per se, and I don't see the tweet anywhere. I don't know if it was a made up tweet. Someone was just adding fuel to the fire to keep the shit escalated. I don't follow Eminem on Twitter. I never have. So, you know, I typed in his name. He's got the Marshall Mathers tweet, Eminem Twitter, all that. And anywhere, I'm not seeing it. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a little bit further down the page. I don't have enough time to get into it. But one thing I do want to say is, like, if you listen to Kamikaze, you know that Eminem came hard. He came after a lot of rappers nowadays, you know. And the biggest one is MGK. And the reason why it's the biggest one, because MGK is the only rapper that clapped back at him. XXL Magazine coming out and saying that Lil Pump is thanking Eminem. He thinks he deserved it. I'm looking right at it. So, you know, it's definitely interesting what's going on. Now, I'm going to give my opinion on it. I grew up. Guys, I'm 33 years old. Eminem, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady. He came mainstream with Dr. Dre, I want to say in the late, I don't know, I'm trying to remember. I remember listening to the first Slim Shady album, you know, and I was maybe 10, 11 years old. And, you know, when we listen to Eminem, we always thought of this, you know, this white boy in a predominantly black scene, hip-hop. Okay, and he was a small white boy from Detroit with bleached blonde hair. He had some of the quirkiest lyrics, but he was amazing at how he would put his stories together with words. You know, he's basically, it's like what MGK says, you know, in his diss, where, you know, Eminem locks himself up in his bedroom and reads the dictionary. I mean, because this guy's a living, walking, breathing dictionary. All right, he can come up with some of the weirdest phrases that make 100% sense. Alright, so my whole thing about this is we grew up, you know, my generation, we grew up with Eminem. Alright, we know Eminem to be one of the illest rappers out there. We've seen Eminem battle back in the day, and no one's been able to touch him. I mean, he's just phenomenal. Alright, and I will be 100% honest with that. You know, and now you got to take what we understand now with Eminem compared to what Eminem was back in the day, Marshall Mathers, you know, when it was Slim Shady and then evolved into Eminem and then evolved again to Marshall Mathers. And that's, again, you start at the middle of the career or the beginning of the career to the middle to where we are now, the present. And if you follow Eminem throughout his career, man, he evolved his music. We listened to, you know, the first two albums where it was all like laid back, not even laid back. It was like a quirky ass comedy show. You know, where he dissed, you know, Haley was just a baby. You know, where he was talking about his mom real bad. He was talking about, you guys remember the Ken Kniff skiffs, and then, you know, talking about Kim and Bonnie and Clyde, and I mean, just, there's so many great memories that I have of Eminem, you know, of me and all my friends sitting around, and we used to sit there and read and try to decipher Eminem's verses like it was the Bible. I mean, it was ridiculous of, like, what this guy was. And so, anyways, we watched Eminem evolve, okay? And rappers from the past that used to try to diss Eminem would just get destroyed. Alright, we already know that. A lot of people are already, you know, Eminem has already put his foothold into the whole, you know, dissing game. You know, if you watched 8 Mile, you've seen everything that he went through there, and he proved himself to be like one of the greatest dissers out there. And again, you know, we just see that from, you know, the past. Eminem, every rapper that's ever tried to go toe-to-toe dissing Eminem's just buried him. Like, to the point to where Eminem has built that character up in society to where be like, oh shit, someone's dissing Eminem. Be like, wait, just wait. You know it's about to be a fucking murder scene. Alright, so Eminem drops this album, Kamikaze. And he dissed a lot of rappers, a lot of new age rappers, you know, Lil Pump. I mean, I don't know. The one that I'm mainly focused on right now is MGK. And I'm not a big MGK fan as well, but I know MGK. You know MGK. So anyways, we have the whole evolution of Eminem where Recovery came out, and that's where we kind of, if you didn't follow Eminem's personal life and anything like that, you probably never knew. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I was never that fan to where I knew everything about Slim. I didn't know that he had a drug addiction to pills. I didn't know that he, you know, so when he come out of recovery and he opened up about it, you know, I applauded him. Like, that was dope, you know. Good shit, man. Cool, I'm happy for you, man. You finding, you know, road to rehab, recovery, and all that. That's awesome, you know. I mean, not a whole lot of people. A lot of people can say that, but not a whole lot of people can say that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I've really gained a whole different respect for Eminem. Now I will say Eminem, for me, you know, granted, you know, I support Trump. All right. But when I have to go into music or movies, and you see it nowadays, not just with Eminem, but I mean, like, everybody, there's a lot of actors that I won't follow anymore or anything like that, just for the simple fact that they want to get political. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what, you know, who you follow. Just keep the politic bullshit out of your career. I follow you because I like your career. I like what you've done. I like what you're doing. But when you start using your political views to drive your career, you know, I wash my hands. And I understand it's hard to wash your hands when you got the whole Eminem coming out dissing MGK. So anyways, rappers back in the day, when they would diss Eminem, they had nothing going on. You know, they didn't know much about his personal life or his, you know, his trials and tribulations. They just wanted to diss him just to diss him. You know, based on what he looked like. He's a small white boy with bleach blonde hair, walk around with a chain, you know, flipping motherfuckers off and shit like that. And we have to be fair here, guys. I don't think if we didn't have Eminem, if Slim Shady never made it out of Detroit, I don't think MGK would have the influence on the hip-hop scene and rappers nowadays. Now, I'm not talking, like, we all know rap nowadays is fucking garbage. I kind of wish that we could have MGK back in the early 2000s. I really, really do. But then again, if we did, I don't think M would have shined as much. You probably would have had this beef a long time ago. Okay, now, when M fell off, you know, M, again, recovery and all this, you know, we started seeing the emergence of MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, coming out of Cleveland. And he was a good rapper, guys. I mean, like, he was born in I think 1990. I think MGK said that in his diss. He was cracking on Eminem for it, be like, dude, I'm a lot younger than you, you know. So if we really didn't have Eminem, Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady, you know, in the hip hop game, I don't think MGK would have been nowhere nearly as successful. Because let's be honest, guys, a lot of times when Eminem wasn't in the scene, a lot of Eminem fans would focus on MGK, and maybe because it was the whole white race thing in the hip hop scene. I don't know. MGK's a bomb ass rapper in his own sense. So they dropped out this whole album, Kamikaze. MGK gets dissed on. And next you know, MGK comes back. He's the only rapper so far that's come back in a major way. I mean, I'm pretty sure other rappers are out there talking about it, blah, 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 and fuck this and fuck that. But MGK is the one that went right to the studio, drew out a diss, recorded it, made a video, threw it out there, and it's called Rap Devil. Well, because, you have Rap God, Rap Devil. It's very, provocative, I shall say. It's a slap in the face to Eminem almost. Be like, okay, you may be the Rap God, but guess what, motherfucker? I'm the Rap Devil. So, and I'm seeing it everywhere nowadays, guys. I seen it all day yesterday, the day before. I woke up this morning, and it's still going on. So I figured, you know what, I might as well drop my opinion on it. Now, here's the thing, alright, why MGK? I feel as if MGK has so much success. And what I mean by that, guys, is everyone's still on Facebook saying Eminem's going to destroy him. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that, because history shows us that Eminem is unfucking touchable when it comes to rapping, when it comes to battling. Whenever we talk about battles, Eminem always gets brought up. Eminem's always in there. Who's the best battler? Eminem. Marshall Mathers. I'm going to be honest, guys, back in the day when I used to sit there and write lyrics and all that, and I still got boys like D-Day the Scorpion out there that, if it wasn't for Eminem, I don't think we would have started doing what we did. And like I said, we used to sit there and listen to Eminem and try to decipher his lyrics like it was Bible verses. Now, I really don't think that we would have been doing what he's doing. Okay, but rappers back then, they used to sit there and try to diss him on his appearance and all that, and Eminem would just come out. Now, we are 30 years, well, I'm 33, that would have made me 3 years old. No, I want to say we're roughly, 15 plus years in M's career, and there's not been one rapper that could touch him. Never once have we ever witnessed on a world stage, on a music video, on TV, where M drops his mic and walks away from shame because a rapper destroyed him. No, it's actually been the opposite. So, we have this whole big image of Eminem being the rap god. And then he dropped the song Rap God, where he threw up how many bars? I think like 1,600 words in a minute or something like that, to where, like, even Twista, some of the fastest rappers out there, couldn't even mimic this. So, he evolved into his music where it went from the quirky shit to, the rehab, the recovery, and the long trials and tribulations. Now we have MGK snapping back, and he's really starting to attack Eminem on his trials and tribulations. And I think that's where it's getting so escalated, because no other rapper back then has done this. First off, there hasn't been a real major battle with Eminem since then. So MGK snaps back, and he's using Haley. He's talking about, going after Kim in a sexual way. If you guys remember that verse, and he already went out and fucked one rapper's wife. He's getting ready to hit up Kim. And then he talks about Haley. He talks about Eminem's drug problem, his pill popping and all this, his rehab. So we have the very first time that we're seeing a rapper hit Eminem on a personal level. And I'm going to be honest, guys, that's just going to escalate the whole thing. Eminem's not just going to walk away from the mic on this one. This is something, if MGK can keep that mentality up, we're going to see a few extra discs coming out from both sides. This is just the beginning, guys. The best thing I could say is get your headphones, get some popcorn, and wait. Because, like I said, Eminem, I seriously, that tweet that I read this morning that was posted on Facebook, I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm gonna be honest, even if it's real or not, Eminem already has something going on. He probably already has something wrote down, probably already in the studio and recorded, and it's just getting edited, or not edited, but, it's getting finalized. And then, of course, I'm sure MGK is going to snap back at it as well. And MGK, in today's society, I really don't think MGK would have had his success if it wasn't for Eminem, for Marshall Mathers. Now, granted, without Marshall Mathers, maybe MGK could have been the first of its kind. I mean, let's be honest. But it's not. All right, so we got to take the facts. We got to take, what we know and put it into today's scene. But I really don't think that we're done seeing the end of this. We're going to see a lot more coming from both parties. And you know what? There may be even some other rappers that might jump in on Eminem. Or we might just see a whole battle royale where it's like, okay, you know what? We're done with mumble rap. Alright, we already know rap today fucking sucks, man. You got all these new rappers, looking like Skittles in their mouths and, don't even make no goddamn sense, ramen noodles, ramen noodles, ramen noodles. What? We're about to see a whole different evolution of hip-hop. And it's going to be the dissing game. It's going to be where a lot of these new age rappers, we're going to see what they're really made of. Eminem's really going to put him through the fire and really going to test what they are capable of. And again, like I said, MGK is the first one to snap back, really. And you have a lot of MGK followers that, love MGK. You have a lot of the diehard, followers of Eminem that grew up and loved Eminem. And me, I'm just on the sidelines. Like, I like both of them. They both have good music. I like Eminem because of the memories that listening to his music with my boys has given me, and just the type of person he was back in the day. Like, he was on it. Like, there was just no one else to compare. And then everything that Eminem has accomplished, with Shade 45 Records, with his Sirius radio station, recovery, addiction, and all this. So, it's very interesting to see what goes on. Now, if you're going to ask me who killed who the most, I'm going to be honest. MGK, M got you, dog. M got you. M got you. But I'm going to give you credit, dude. I mean, you came back out of any rapper that ever snapped back at Eminem, you came the hardest. All right? So, again, like I said, I'm being fair there. But at the end of the day, if you was to ask me who's going to win this battle ultimately, my money's on Eminem. Okay, just from what we know in the past. There's not been a rapper out there that could touch Eminem on a world stage when it comes to dissing. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, I mean, all good things must come to an end, right? I get that. Are we going to witness MGK burying Eminem for the first time in history? I doubt that. But MGK is going to give Eminem definitely the hardest fight that he's ever had in the rap game, because again, no other rapper could compare to Eminem when it comes to this, and no other rapper ever snapped back as hard as MGK did back to Eminem. So again, guys, that's just my opinion. I didn't expect to go 18 minutes. So if you guys managed to stay this long into my video, I appreciate it. I really do. Make sure you like, subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry, I'm just waking up and still trying to get myself going. Guys, over here at the Ellis Network, we talk mainly about alternative news, world news, political news, and if that's something you guys are into, please subscribe, like, share my video, and hit the bell notification so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. I'm usually uploading at least 1 to 2 videos a day, as of lately. During summer break, guys, I took a break, but I'm coming back. If you guys can go back in my video page history and see the consistency in my videos. So again, guys, I appreciate everything you guys do, and I'll see you guys later. Good luck, MGK. You're gonna need it, dude. You're gonna need it.